please start with your workshop.
Thank you, Harry. Thank you, everyone, for attending. The workshop begins before we talk about anything with an icebreaker. Because it's important to get synchronized and be joined together by some factor. And the factor that I had originally planned was to everybody do around the table and tell us a little bit about each other. We've sort of already done that in the pre-workshop, so I'm changing it to just tell a fun fact that defines you, sort of a 30-second icebreaker without telling us about what you do in Toastmasters. Just a fact. I'll give an example. I was going to talk about tea originally and my progress with tea, but I'll say that I love nature. I love being in nature. The tea ceremony often, as often as possible, I like to do it outside. We've developed a way to do it outside. I go to an island called Elba in the Mediterranean, which is has big vegetation and the sea. And I love to see the sea from across the trees. So that's an example. So 30-second example, just tell us why. Like I said, I love to see the sea between the trees and build around it, and let us know about you and your passions. Let's see, I can call the people. Let's start with, I'll go with the order of my screen. So Alexander, you're on the top left for me. So your pick to begin with.
Okay, so I start with an example. Said it I didn't completely catch.
Yes, sure. Give us a fun fact about yourself that defines you. So not, what you do in Toastmasters here and there, but something about your life, your passions, something that you feel defines you as a person.
What defines me now is I married an Irish woman, and that has a big influence on my life. That's why I'm in Maastricht and not in my home country. I really like visiting Ireland. I really like the atmosphere, and I think it brings in it for everyone who knows Germans. It smoothens the edges to be embarked in the Irish culture. So I think that encompasses me trying to be in the middle. And that's where I live as well, in the middle between Ireland and Germany.
Wonderful. Thank you. Very Taoist also, this concept of being in the middle, finding the middle. Thank you, Alexander. Here, we'll go, I guess next is Harry. Harry, you'll be participating too, right? You're helping, but so tell us a fun fact about yourself.
Outside of Toastmasters, I'm a rock climber, a mountaineer.
There you go.
And I love being outside. I've been doing it for, well, I guess I'd be giving my age away if I said how long I really been doing it, but certainly since the 70s. So I'm a Woodstock child.
Awesome. Yeah.
Like I think like yourself, Marco. And yes, it's I find a lot of time to think when I'm out in nature and things, but not just out there. It's also when I'm climbing, when I'm teaching people to climb. There's so much reward in teaching others, and there's of course, bringing it back into Toastmasters. Here we're helping people as well, and we're constantly sort of supporting them to progress, to learn things and to move forward. Rock climbing in many ways have similarities in that when people learn to rock climb, they gain a lot of self-confidence. And that self-confidence doesn't stop with the rock climbing. They take it back into their day-to-day lives, in their work and things, because you become a far more self-confident person in some respects by overcoming those challenges and things. But that's sort of more of the, shall we say, the guidance part of it. That's for the rest of it. I just love sitting up there on the rock and having 3,000 meters of nothing below me and looking at the world from a completely different point of view, from the point of view of a bird, perhaps. That it's yeah, and it's very much a part of me.
Thank you. Thank you. That was very enlightening. Thank you, Harry. Next in line is Lotte.
I am a mom right now. Well, I will be for the rest of my life, but I'm a mom of 2 kids who are 8 and 10, and right now are in front of the TV at home being sick. So they might come in at this moment. But it has changed my life, as that I am now defining myself as a mother, because yeah, you have to take care of 2 little ones, and you want to develop them into independent, confident little youngsters that are able to be themselves in the world. And I much like doing that.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Sort of
Can I
seeing,
share something here, Marco?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Just Lotte is saying she's got 2 little sick children at home. Just when COVID kicked off a long time ago, one of my colleagues had a Zoom call, and while she was sitting on the Zoom call and things, one of her little boys walked in the room, absolutely stark naked and things. Learn to close the door and put a sign up, please do not disturb. So Lotte, if anything happens, we'll just say, wow, okay, that's nice to see.
Well, they know they're not supposed to interrupt because they had the COVID experience, but yeah,
Wow.
they'll knock, but you never know.
Never know, exactly.
But it is wonderful. It's wonderfully grounding, because
Absolutely.
we tend to be so much in the project, especially now we're having fun, but at work, and when you see something like that from the real world, it
The
reminds you, what are
naturalness
we
of
here
it, hey?
for?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they do interrupt, we'll all be happy, I'm sure.
Exactly.
And Lotte blurred the sides, so we will not really see what they are dressed in.
Exactly.
And
it
Denise,
doesn't
you're
matter.
next.
Actually, it doesn't really
In
matter.
my screen anyway. We saw your son before.
Yeah, it's a daughter.
Daughter, sorry. Oops.
Okay, so I really enjoyed hearing Lotte saying she's a mom. I think what defines me the last 4 years is also that I'm a mom. But before that, the main thing about me is that I really love learning and traveling. So traveling, seeing new people, meeting new people, and seeing new places and learning new things is my main thing. That's why I'm still doing my PhD right now. And the fun fact about me, when I have something in my mind, like a goal, or something that I'm passionate about, like Toastmasters or like my PhD and learning and so on, I don't need to sleep. I literally can live without sleeping 1 day, 2 days, or really short naps in between and continue. And I'm amazed with myself because I was able to do it when I was young. And I was thinking it's just because I'm young, but right now I'm getting older and I can still do it. And I'm impressed with what I can do. It's not that I don't like sleeping in the other side. I really love sleeping, and I can sleep anywhere, anytime, in front of a flight gate, or on a bus, or on a train. Like if I want to sleep, I can sleep like this. And if I need to get up for something, like right now, I'm doing my PhD in a university in the USA online with some residencies. And I put my daughter to sleep at night. She prefers to sleep still around me. So time to time, pretending like I'm sleeping for her to sleep, I fall asleep. And then in the middle of the night, sometime like 1 a.m., I woke up with like, what did they comment on my post in the PhD discussion board? So I'm so excited about the discussions and the issues that I'm learning. I just wake up in the middle of the night, like I need to get in, log in and see what they discussed and wrote on my comments and so on. So somehow this passion about learning and whatever I'm trying to do at that moment can keep me energized. Yeah, that's the fun fact.
Excellent. Yeah, and very informational, because now we know how to get energy is learning.
And from
Yeah.
people.
And
from people, because
and
I
from
got
people, yes. That's what
being with
the
the
workshop
people.
is.
Yeah.
It's also about connecting and people and learning. We'll see. Exactly. We're very much in phase. So the next one is Graham. Hi, Graham. You're on mute. Graham, you're on mute.
Right. Thanks. Yeah, I also get a lot of energy from people and from learning and from networking all over. I do a lot of dance still and a lot of sport. But just to reveal my age, a fun fact, as we changed our plain table topics to include quite a lot of improv, and I called in a bunch of theater people and improv people to help us. And now I'll be doing a talk about the 60s, a pivotal year in both my life and in the changes of the world at this time. And I'm mixing this talk up very nicely, I think, with lines from 20 or 30 pop songs of those days, which I used to listen to as a teenager avidly. And now I've decided to put in a few lines from various important speeches, like Ich bin ein Berliner from John F. Kennedy, which I did in Toastmasters 20 years ago, and Martin Luther King, and so on. So it's a lot of fun doing improv. I never realized that I could do a bit of acting or singing online or on stage, and it's working. I've managed to practice for a talk on Thursday 4 times so far, this speech that I did a month ago at Toastmasters.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the music was a big factor of those years. So I was influenced a lot by music, and I love listening to the music of the 60s and 70s. Next, I see people with no faces below. I don't know if they're here. I guess I saw Meltem is here, right? Meltem, you? Can everybody who's on put their camera on, so that way we know?
Hello.
Hi, Meltem.
Hi, nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Can you turn your camera on?
It is not suitable at this moment, but in the future, yes, I can. I'm an environmental engineer. I love sightseeing, trekking, photographing, depending on the weather. I love sunny weathers and spring especially. What can I tell? And also swimming. My favorite hobby is swimming, if I have a time. So I can tell all of them. I live I have 2 nieces, Duru and Doa. I love children and animals. We have also children's dog. So it's nice to see you and hear you. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you, Meltem. Thank you for being here. So is that so there's 7 of us, or how about
for Tani as well?
Hi, Hassan.
Hassan is asleep at the moment, I think.
No, he's here.
Is he?
I was in a call, so
there we go.
How are you?
Nice. Hi, thank you. Very well, very well. I don't know if you heard, we're doing a round of introduction via a fun fact about ourselves. So we're all presenting ourselves through a fact that defined, not a fact, but a hobby, something that defines us.
Okay. I'm Hassan, and I have been Toastmasters for over 10 years. And what can I say about myself? I completed many duties in Toastmasters, but if I want to mention something about personal, because you were talking about your
personal.
Childs and nephews and other things, and I don't believe in child. I don't believe in having a child, because I believe that my service is in another path in this world. So I don't have a child. I love all of them, and all childs loves me, really loves me. But I'm moving on my way as a how can I say, not a single, but without a child. Let's say without a child. So I don't believe in child. That's the thing
Okay, but
that.
that's something you do not. Give us something you do, like.
Okay, I'm not giving it. Okay, what I do is loving all childs, maybe we can say.
Loving all childs. Okay, okay, okay. That's good. You said it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Okay. Thank you, San. Have we covered everyone then?
There's Forteni as well, who's in Greece. Forteni says that her English is not very good. I think she should at least say hello.
Yeah, Forteni. Please.
Show your face and say hello.
Is she there though?
Yes, she is, but she said says that her English is very terrible and she
Okay.
doesn't really want to speak. So let's move on.
All right. Okay.
Michael.
Okay.
Say hello.
Oh, there we go.
No, I said say hello in
Greece.
In Greek. Kalimera. Kalimera. That's fine. That's fine. Maybe just being connected, you can understand and get into the workshop. Okay, let's move forward. After we've synced in, so a wonderful group of people with a broad spectrum of interest, from traveling to raising children to mountain climbing to being with children, to be passionate about eras and speeches and songs, and from being passionate about tea too. We can build something together. But let me before we go on to the workshop, let me explain 3 important metaphors of the tea ceremony. It's what I had promised at the beginning that I would give. I do the tea ceremony with several people together. And after or while we're drinking the tea and we're enjoying the different types of teas, I explain that there are 3 important metaphors that the tea ceremony brings. It's an ancient tradition that is thousands of years old. And it works, it's based on a ritual. The fact that every day you repeat it. You set yourself a time to do the tea ceremony and you repeat it daily. This point about the repetition is very useful because it allows you to be more sensitive to the changes. Every time you do a tea ceremony, you're learning something new. You're learning about how to brew the tea. And you catch the differences from one day to the other. Not only you catch the differences, but you can see that if something, if you make a mistake, if something happens that bugs you a little bit, you cannot go back in time. There's no way you can undo the mistake you've done. Automatically, you learn how the thing that happened is a lesson for the next time. So this allows you to be in the moment and enjoy the pearls that you receive from whatever thing happens, whether your initial reaction is positive or whether it's negative. Maybe you are upset about this thing. Immediately you calm yourself because you know that it will be you will be able to avoid it the next time. It's something new that you've learned and you're able to carry it into the next time and the next time and the next time. And every time it repeats and you get better and better, and you're more sensitive to the changes. So this is metaphor number 1. It's a metaphor about self-leadership, about being in the moment, about taking everything as a precious lesson And we all know this very well in Toastmasters. It works exactly like Toastmasters. Everything that happens in our speeches, we're not too upset about it because we know there'll be the next time, in 2 weeks, we'll have another opportunity, or maybe we'll learn it from someone else. There'll be another opportunity to correct it. So you're not too upset about it. The second metaphor about the tea ceremony is that it is something we're doing jointly with a group. I do it with several people, sometimes just 2, sometimes we're up to 8 people. I've done it with groups of 100 people where we're not drinking the same brew, but we're dividing it. And the magic of doing something together in group, it's a sensation that you get. It's one of those intangibles that you get about feeling of purpose. You're all joined, in the case of the tea ceremony, by a drink. You're all feeling the same experience. We're all commenting on how the tea tastes, on the sensations that we get by the tea. Other examples of group work, famous, for example, if people are working on, say, the Red Cross emergency thing, you know, I know my wife does that as a service. They join from all walks of life, and they're all focused in the mission, you know, what they do in life, whether they're unemployed, they're CEOs, doesn't really matter. They all are dedicated to the mission. So these are the magic things that a group can bring together. And the tea ceremony shows that through taste and flavor and the sensations that we get from the tea ceremony. The third metaphor is the metaphor about the ecosystem. When we're drinking the tea is coming from usually from China, India, a country far away. If in China, you can drink teas from India. The tradition of tea comes from, like I said, 5,000 years ago. There's even an inventor of the tea, Shen Nong, the discoverer of tea. And it's been, and the ceremony has evolved. So when you're drinking tea, you're getting connected to all these people in the present, far away, in the past, through their learnings or techniques, the things they've brought to you. You're getting connected to all the people, the farmers, the chain of people that have brought the tea to you, and you're grateful for them. They've brought you this, you know, maybe you pay the tea, the service, or you thank them somehow. You exchange your feelings that you've gathered with the tea back towards them. So these are the 3 ceremonies: self-improvement, teamwork, and the ecosystem. And these 3 things are what I want to bring to you with this workshop. This workshop highlights these 3 important points, and it's done in an experiential way. So I've just finished about talking about the 3 metaphors, and now we'll go into one game. We have 2 games. Originally, I thought we'd do a breakout room, but maybe we can do. How many are we? We're 6. We're 6 people, right? We can do 2 breakout rooms of 3. Is that okay, Harry?
Marco, or another suggestion, what I did in the previous workshop, again, because we have limited people, we didn't go into a breakout session, but you did it together, and then, you know, everybody.
That's fine. Yeah, let's do it together.
But it's up to you how you want to run this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even simpler to run it. Okay, let's do it together. So just to let you know how it works, we do one game, which is about teamwork. Then I'll explain my method for getting out of the box, let's say it quickly in a way. And then we'll do the second workshop where we will be developing our teamwork. So the first game, what we have to do is we have to everyone we have to come up with a common mission. We have to come up with a mission, and after we have learned about the method, we will build sort of an adventure, a path, a hero's journey, using this mission as an end, and uncovering, solving different obstacles. In the first workshop, we will create a mission by fusing our passions together. So everyone will in the group will state something that they've, like a secret that they've hidden, that they want to, you know, somewhere where they want to go towards. For example, let me give you an example. I can start myself. I would like to start I'm passionate about learning, and I would like to start like a school system where we learn, where it gives opportunities for people to learn about arts, about culture in general. So this is a passion that I have. And what we, in this workshop, what we do is we all go around and we set up, we state our own secret, or not secret, or maybe it's not a secret, but let's say hidden passion outside of work, outside of what you do, that will help us identify a mission. So we will be a group that in the second part will try to fix all the different obstacles that we may encounter. But in this first part, we're setting up a purpose for our team. Is it clear? Yeah? Denise, you're not so clear? Tell me what... No, just let's start with this, you know. So if we were going to do a group, I was going to say we'd have a group leader that then is supposed to go back in plenary and give us what they came up with the mission. And I guess I can be the group leader since I've done it before. And everyone does a round of a table of I know we've talked about ourselves, a fun fact that defines ourselves. It can be the same fact, but it can be something that is helpful towards try to see yourself in a few years from now. What would you be like to be doing when you're retired, for example, or some project that you would like to contribute and share with the rest of the world, that's starting from your passion. So let's start in
Well, I start,
reverse.
Marco, to give you help here.
Harry, yeah, you're ready. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Come on, I'll start and let's see how we go. And then you can tell me if we're doing it right, and then we can correct the path as we go along. How's that? Okay.
Thank you.
So I was in the mountains in Uganda a year ago, and I met a local person who is considered to be a doctor. He's probably a very highly skilled, I would say almost an, you know, not nurse, but above a nurse sort of thing, but not quite a full doctor as we would know doctors here in the Western world and things like that. But he serves as a doctor and he sees patients and he does diagnoses, and he's got a little lab running. It's in a ramshackle little sort of building that you would think, my God, is it possible to even be able to be hygienic in this place? But he serves a purpose, and I must be absolutely clear sort of thing. When we were there, Barbara contracted a cold and we were worried that it might have been COVID and etc. But we went in, and the doctor, whose name is Richard, did a complete analysis, and with his little analytical machines and things, we're able to say, no, absolutely, it wasn't COVID and etc. sort of thing. All good, just needs a couple of days of rest and acclimatization, and then we could get off into the mountains and things. And Richard and I developed a relationship, and I'm about to embark on a project where I want to raise funds to help him build a proper clinic in the little town in Uganda. And this it's becoming a passion, and it's something that I believe will make a difference to a lot of people, because environment in which he's serving people, and he serves a lot of people, is not really conducive to what a health official should be involved in. So if I can help him build a proper clinic and fund it for the first couple of years until it becomes self-sustaining, I believe I will have done something good on this earth, basically.
Excellent. Thank you, Harry. Yeah, wow. That's wonderful. Okay. So anyone else? It doesn't have to be already something as well defined as Harry's, although Harry is giving us a lot of food for thought for a final one. But it can be even, you know, a hint, a passion, a hobby that can be put into a final venture. For example, if you like music, you know, like Graham has said, it can be something about using music and vibrations and meditation to help cure people, you know. Or it can be I like nature and plants and herbs. It can be also that. So we can merge. The important thing is that we have all ideas, and the final one has a little bit from everyone's, you know. So Harry has given us his that involves curing people and concern about the health of people. And let's see what else we get. Let's see, maybe Hassan, since you're we'll go in a different order, or Graham. Yeah, Graham, there.
I was just thinking of how I have found that this stand-up method, in which an older person talks about their time, their youth perhaps, or something happening in the world, it's really connecting people to history, things that they didn't know at all. And then the fact that you can add the lines from music gives another dimension to it, in which they do pick up on music they occasionally hear on the radio, and then they know where it comes from and what were the movements behind it, the social and political movements, and the background. Everybody who listened to this commented in one way or the other. They loved the music and then the connection to social things, or they loved the history and it was neat to have a connection to music. So I find this is another way of teaching people. And most of our Toastmasters in my club are under 20, born this millennium. And there's a hell of a lot of information that's important.
Okay. So could we say it's like still in the if we connected with Harry's about healing, his was clinic, but it's also healing. You know, healing with connection with people from the past, past traditions, past music. We can work a connection in that way. Let me go. Denise, I see your face. So
Okay. What I'm really passionate about is learning and also research, not just learning from a book somebody wrote, somebody taught, but also what is the research behind it. For example, right now there's too much information around, and we are watching, for example, YouTube videos, which has a lot of nice content. But when I watch it and it sounds good to me, like 5 tips of applying this, whatever, it sounds good. And I'm thinking, oh, but what is the research behind it? I mean, is it really like that? Is it really efficient on human beings if they tried on people? Like also in some of our learning materials, I'm always trying to see what is the research underlying that information, that knowledge that we are getting and we are pushed to use. So I want to have either I be a role model of doing it. Like I want to keep teaching and giving trainings and so on, and highlight the research behind it. And I want this to become a norm in the environment, in the people. Like in academics, there's a more theoretical way of academicians, which I don't like also because it's too much theory. And on this side, there's a lot of practical information without too much research or theory behind it. And there is something called scholar practitioner. So you are in the field practicing things, but also you are somehow scholar. You are using the evidence, you're using the research, whatever you're doing and teaching and so on. So I want to be the push for more research-based trainings and research-based practical information. I don't know how that would apply with what you're trying to.
That's clear. Well, I'm thinking what Graham told us about connecting with the past. It may seem like it's facts, you know, because you're talking about facts here and there about the past. But in your method, when you said that there's too many things on internet, but we can you know, see how to extract even going in the past and learning about lessons, we can extract pearls of information that we can use for present things. So it's a method about you're talking about learned practitioners, a method where you're keeping the knowledge on the side, and you're acquiring though from being in the field, from the actual experience. So you can look at the present, but you can also do it learning in the past. You don't have to start from zero. We're not you know, empty slates. We carry memory from the past and knowledge from the past. So you can apply that to cure people, and in Graham's idea about looking at information from people in the past, I think. Alexander?
I think Lotte is before.
Lotte, yeah, you're
Sorry.
right. Lotte, sorry.
Well, I've been thinking, and I would really like to write children's books. Well, I'll rewind it just a little bit further. My brother moved to Australia right before COVID, and he's a biologist, and he loves animals. And I would like to write children's books for kids around 8 to 12 about animals, and to get them more interested in what the world has to bring, other than your environment. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So we're learning from the past, but we're transmitting information for the future through books that are easily to understandable for children or people that are yeah, that maybe even people that can't read, people that are developing. Wonderful. Then Alexander, I'll give you a little more time, because I noticed I skipped the Hassan too, which was in the circle before. Hassan, are you still with us? No. All right, Alexander, then it's your turn.
Yeah, I think I'm passionate. It's professional and private about thinking frameworks, and I don't know if you know that there's a Japanese way of producing things, and I think that can be used very well in all facets of life. And my goal would be to as Denise says, there's so much knowledge around, but I have a daughter now, a young daughter, to teach her frameworks, how to think and navigate her life, to sort through information, make decisions better, and that I think will be a lifelong task.
Wonderful. Well, I hope you like the next part between the two games. It's my framework that I've developed, so I hope you like it. We'll see. But I love being an engineer, so I love framework. You know, in Chinese, engineer, the word engineer means master of processes. So that's what it is. You know, you love processes and way things work, and that's why I picked engineering, and now I'm trying to apply them in more holistic way. but you need a process. I love the Toastmasters process, and it works well, and because it's natural and it follows the natural process. And the one I've discussed that we'll talk about later is based on a natural process. So going back to the team building, so framework building. So we have of the 5 people: clinic in Uganda, stand-up and music, learn and research, children book, and frameworks and process. Very different, very different things. I think if we're to do a mission, it could be, say we do, it can be it can be something that publishes books and let's see, allows people. It could be allows people to bring knowledge from the past. And you know, then there's some research that goes into it. You know, one person, for example, Graham could be the person that's in charge of history, collecting information. Then Denise would be. I didn't have initially assigned roles, but just because you have different passions, Denise could be the person that puts this information together. Alexander will be the one that builds the whole structure, you know, sort of could be even the CEO, because he's doing the organization of the team. And we would have the purpose, the main mission would be to bring us health and health into the people. It has to be geared for children, because children are beginning, so it's an opportunity for them to lead a life with no anxiety. You know, now the main issue we have in our world is anxiety from performance, whether it's performance in the job, or many youngsters it's performance of keeping up with the Joneses, you know, doing better with the other. So it's good if we can do something to make sure the next generations are relieved from the stress that we see happening in many young people. So that would be a health goal. And learning from past generations through music, through history. And in a framework that involves maybe experts could be coming up. We could be meeting with experts from different cultures, and Graham will be in charge of that. And somehow we will be publishing books to carry on with this knowledge to help cure people. How does that sound? Does it cover everyone's passion somehow?
Sounds complicated.
Sounds complicated. Okay. Yes.
That
it sounds complicated, and I guess yes. But let me simplify it further. You know, writing books for children for awareness about health. With gathering expertise throughout cultures.
Let me give an idea. I'm jumping on the culture and history. To reach the kids, one of the best ways at the moment is through song, music, dance. And you know, every problem that somebody has had in their life is in a song. I'll just pick out, "Are you lonesome tonight?" or "I'm sorry, so sorry." And if you get this background, you can pick out the problems and their depiction and a little bit of the history. And second, coming about the book, when you write a book and show somebody to it, that's not modern. We want to add the music. So we don't do it in a book. We do it in a blog. We do it in a YouTube. We do it in a distribute it on a CD or DVD. So all the material is there and entertaining as well as teaching.
Okay, yeah. Well, we have different media that reaches different people. You know, there's people that are reached with visual. There's people that are reached with audio, like you said. And many people have different connecting points. But yeah, that's expansional suggestion. So we can have the books and we can have the audio visual somehow, whether it's online or it's an object. Some people like to have it could be on our phone. Anyway, yeah, I guess now at this point, I don't know how much more time we have, Harry, for this first session. But at this point,
technically, we've gone past the end of the first session, but only by a little bit, so it's fine.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Sorry, anyone else want to add something?
Yes, I didn't want to interrupt because it was going so well.
Okay, thank you. Does anyone want to add something? Could we say that it will be a company that whose purpose is to reach out to youngsters? I would say youngsters or the young generations in general, carrying information from the past, teaching them how all the generations have thought about through songs, through songs and music, and history and stories, because these songs, after all, often they're a song, and they can be pictured in books and in you know, with drawings for children. And anyway, it's a company that has at heart the health of children, so that I know here you were talking about a clinic in Uganda. I only got the health part out of it, but you know, it's better. I'm thinking it's better to if there's instead of fixing the problem after it's occurred. So many of these problems are psychosomatic. I would dare say all are psychosomatic, but you know, if you work at calming down people, these people in Uganda even, and helping them be aligned with information from the past, knowing that they're connected. Maybe the people whose stories we're bringing to are not from Uganda, they're from a different continent, you know, from America or from wherever. So they're in connection with, or China, they're in connection with other cultures. It helps them so that they don't need the clinical help when they're older.
Yeah, I think that's interesting concept. I think you're right. The psychosomatic probably comes into a lot sort of things. Sometimes the people just need a pat on the shoulder, you know, rather than a pull. So yeah. Definitely. Mm-hmm.
It's the pat on the shoulder, but if you give it constantly, you know, through you know, from youth, they get patted, and they become very strong adults, and they're you know, they're ready to handle all the difficulties of adulthood.
And what about too much patting on the shoulder, making them dependent?
Well, that life takes care of that. If you're too life takes care of too much patting in the shoulder. No need to add it ourselves.
Then what I mean is, do they not become dependent on it sometimes rather than becoming self-reliant?
Very good. Well, this is why the cultural mixed, if Graham, through his knowledge of past history, past cultures, you know, and then we can add, we can have people that are, I can bring stuff from China. I'm passionate about China, you know, so we bring cultures, information from different cultures. It makes sure that you have different angles. The problem about too much patting is getting addicted to something, addiction. So you want your information to come from different angles, This is why, this is part of the power of the team. This is why we're in a team. We're putting different angles. In this case, it's extra challenging because we're putting different passions and missions. But in the second part, when we're solving actual problems, we'll be putting different angles towards helping you progress. And the book or the final product that we have, whether it's online or book, can help these children get information that are helping them grow from different points of view. So it makes sure that it's not addictive. It's not always the same sauce, you know. They may be learning to cure themselves through herbs. They may be learning the power of music, the power of socialization, the power of introspection. You know, being alone is also very important. So every the variety in our product will help take care of the problem you raised, Harry. But now we're too early. Now the problem solving is a second game. So we're going ahead. The goal here was only to define something that we have to all agree. The important thing about team working is that we're all buying into it, you know, because people now work mainly for money, and they forget about the passion. You know, they say, I want to earn enough money so that I can retire and finally develop my passion, you know. The problem with money, there's nothing wrong with money, but it's impersonal. It loses connection, and you cannot carry information about passion on a paycheck. You know, it just gives you money, resources. That's fine, but it doesn't carry passion. I mean, you can be passionate about money. There's need for people that are good about accumulating, of course. But here it's about taking different angles. And the goal of this first game was to make sure that everyone has bought into the project, that it's something that they would work, you know, if it was real, they would work passionately about it. So is it okay? Then okay. Then let me go to the middle section. So everyone's okay, really. I just saw Harry go like this, but is everyone okay with this sort of project that we have? Yes? You can put your, you can unmute, huh? No one?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Graham. So let me then go into the heart of the workshop, because I would like to present. You see my screen?
I only see
Slowly coming.
Yes.
Slowly coming.
Yes,
Okay.
now visible.
Yes, we see.
Okay, let me put it in presentation mode. Just make sure it's the right slide. Tell me when you see the presentation mode. Give me a thumbs. I see only Lotte for some reason.
Yes.
Lotte, give me a thumbs up. Yeah, thank you. Okay. So you guys, you all know this this character, this people. It's from Scooby-Doo. Some cultures they don't know it, so I have to ask, because it's not a given. But you know how in the end of the cartoon, this blonde, I can't remember his name, the blonde-haired guy, he's sort of the leader of the group. He takes the villain, and the villain is always some masked villain. And so the fun part is finding out who the villain is. And here he says, you know, so who is behind all my problems? You know, we all have problems in our lives about this or that not working. Who is it behind our problems? And if my screen works. Who is it? It's me. So every time you have a problem, it's me. I am the culprit of the problem. You have to make this realization. Every time you not accept the situation as it is, and blame it on someone else, you are preventing yourself from different solutions. You're cutting off yourself from any avenue that you have to get out of it. People tend to blame other things. It's not your lack of skill. It's not your past. It's not your age. It's not your ethnic group. It's not your lack of time, your family, your stressful job. It's not the government. It's not the news. It's not your backache. It's not your accent. Every time you blame something that is not you, you're giving yourself a power cut. You're blocking yourself from power. And to go further with the cartoon references, many have seen this phrase in Spider-Man. The catchphrase of Spider-Man is, "With great power comes great responsibility." The uncle tells Peter as he's young and he's becoming more powerful. Well, I'm reversing the phrase to "with great responsibility comes great power." Every time you make yourself responsible of the situation, you gain immense power, because cause and effect are in a loop. It works the other way. Every time you take responsibility, you are able to take care of the present, the now, the situation, the moment. At the same time, you can prepare for the future, and you can learn from the past. You can form alliances. You can have many choices that, if you are upset about the situation, you're precluding yourself. And so this will, taking responsibility will allow you to have more impact, more efficiency, and ultimately more joy, which is what we want in for our lives and for our friends and for everyone around us. So let me present with this a tool that I've built to help you take responsibility. It's a tool that is based on how to analyze the situation and all the different facts, the different activities that we can do about the situation present. The first thing that we come around is the challenge. You know, at one point we can start with the challenge. The challenge is something that often is seen as a problem. You know, we don't want to face it. But it's there, it's present. We have to go through it. It's difficult because sometimes it's outside of our comfort zone. That is why it's a challenge. But if instead of taking it as something awful that we have to do and that we do not want to do, we are at very least hopeful, or we have gratitude for the new situation. And then as you move on, you can have love and even be enlightened about it. It will open up new opportunities for you, and you will be able to get to the next phase, which is observation. You will be able to observe the situation with much more clarity and get more lessons from it and helpful points from it. And we will see later how to apply this in the next game, but for now, let me just present the tool. Once you have observed something that will help you, that will be helpful for you, you can put it in your bag of tricks. You already have some knowledge. We're not born yesterday, so we can fuse our new observation with our bag of knowledge. And this can be helpful not only for the situation in front, but it can increase our toolkit. So we can become quicker, and we can become more effective next time the situation comes up. And after that, we're ready to act. We're ready to act upon it. So the next step, after we've fused and we've integrated into ourselves the new observing knowledge, we're able to act and put it into action. And of course, This is, I've added this to show that it's not just a circle, but see the circle, if you turn it around, it's a spiral, and it keeps going on. It's a spiral that keeps, say, in this circle thing, it goes into the page. So when we have an action, what happens? After we do the action, maybe not everything went perfectly, just like in Toastmasters, when we do, when we give a speech, that would be our action. Then we have feedback, and the feedback is information about the next challenge. The next challenge will be addressing the feedback and finding out a way to address it. And the spiral goes on and on, you know, then you observe, you add to the knowledge. And so continuing on and on, you learn and you grow and you acquire new strengths to handle in a quicker and more effective way all these next challenges that cover you. Does anyone have any questions before I go on how it applies to the game, the next game? Is it clear?
Will we learn how to apply it in our daily life after you explain it into the game?
Yes, the game is an experiential way to apply it to the daily life. Exactly. It's done for two ways. One, you know, the acquisition, the learning is the game. So it's sort of recursive, because when you're testing it, you see, for example, one trick I have to do here to apply it is something easy for people that have difficulty in not being upset about the problem. So at the beginning, most people, when they have a challenge, it's a problem for them. So they don't have these emotions. At the very least, they have hope. So I will give a hint of how to do it, so you don't have to be enlightened to solve all your problems. But as you go on the circle, you find you become better and better at observing. So yes, it's how to apply it at an early stage, and then as you learn, you use it in different ways. Thank you, Denise, for the question. So in the next game, because like I said, this is an experiential workshop, so the next game will go on directly. We will be creating a hero's journey, like they do in the storytelling. The hero's journey works with this too, right? Because the hero has a challenge, he has a mission. We've already created our mission, which is the mission of working out this company that does this media-based things to help heal children. We will he gets in the observation phase in the hero's journey. It's an ally, something unexpected that comes from outside and gives him the solution of how to go through the challenge. So the hero's journey starts with a challenge, then there's an ally, then the ally allows him to become more expert, more enlightened, and then finally the hero or the team, in our case the hero is our team, the team puts in action their work. Here, because we're not able to right away get started with this project, the action will be storytelling. So we will be writing stories about a journey. So that will be our mission now, is to write a little 1-minute story about our journey on how to develop the project. What should we call it? Media for healing children. So we have to do this and use this technique to help us go through problems. We have 3 important roles. We will take turns, each one of us being person one will be the devil's advocate. The devil's advocate is the person that finds a challenge. So like I said, because it's a spiral, we have challenge 1, we get a solution. Then we have challenge 2, you know, once we've acted out the thing, sounded it out with our own mind. We have challenge 2 and challenge 3. So the devil advocate will take turn. Each person will, in turn, will find a challenge. Next, person 2 will be the observer. So the observer, and this is the trick that I use for this for our own workshop. The observer takes an object in their desktop, for example, this teapot that I have here, and builds and nothing, just mentions an object. So the observer has a very simple role. He just shows an object. I'll make an example of what we did in the last workshop. And then the next person is the synthesizer. The synthesizer is a person that takes the challenge that the devil's advocate gave, the object that was pulled out by the observer, and synthesize them into knowledge, something, a solution that helps you pass the challenge. Let me give you an example. Last time we were looking for a cultural center. We wanted to develop a cultural center to bring arts and dance and culture to different people in a location, in a place. The first challenge that we had was to find a location. People said, how are we going to find a location? The observer showed this, it was me, showed this paper, this clothespin. And the synthesizer said, clothespin, it opens and closes. It makes me think of flexibility. Flexibility, the place should be flexible. We should not be always in the same place. We want to be a traveling venture that can be sometimes in one location, sometime in another location, and we don't have to find the right place. We can find a place to start with and a place to evolve later. So is the example clear? Is it clear what we have to do? Here, let me go back. If nobody needs this slide, I can interrupt the sharing. Just remember there's 3 roles. I know, and there's one, and then like before, we have a note taker and a timer, but I can be the note taker and Harry can be the timer. So we're only one group. So 3 roles: devil's advocate, observer, and synthesizer. And now we interrupt the presentation so I can see everybody's lovely faces. And first of all, let me tell me if the whole presentation was clear and if the game and what we have to do now is clear. And then we can start. Yes? Clear? Okay.
It's sort of clear, but I think that once we do the game, it'll be clearer.
Yeah, exactly. We have to start. Okay. So let's start with here. I'll go back to Alexander as being first. Alexander, you can find our first challenge. You can be the devil's advocate. What would be the first challenge for building our media for children to provide health?
The first thing would be it's not well defined. What is health? What problem do you try to improve? What age group? And so because children are very different in the stages of their life. And another thing is cultural background, which language or which, because every culture has, like what you mentioned with the comic, every culture has different comics or backgrounds that they interact better with or respond better with. So
okay. So sort of to define the target age group and culture group. What is our target? Basically, it has to do with the target. Okay, I'll do it easy. I'll be the one who takes the object. So here I'm giving a highlighter. I have a highlighter. The object is a highlighter. Okay, and now Lotte, you will be the one, the toughest job is the one of the synthesizer. So you can ask help from others, but we're Toastmasters. It's sort of like a table topics. It works like a table topic. So in a table topic style, you can answer a way that you can solve Alexander's challenge for a project.
I have an idea.
Yeah. Well, Graham, let Lot start first.
Sorry?
If I think of a highlighter, I think of underlining the important things, but how to match that with our targets, I don't know.
Graham?
The highlighter is a way of pointing out things that are important. And I think of the critical challenges, for instance, one with the problems of young people. I think we'll need medical help here. Another question was about the cultures. Who do we point to? Which cultures? I think we have to make this applicable to many cultures and many styles. So there's no sense in determining it from the outset. I think as we produce a children's book with music and dance and history, and add a history from people, we point to the older generations in every culture. So you're taking local people and letting them provide the history and the culture information. So what we should be doing is not making something definite, but making a process, a method by which anybody in any culture has the tools to create the book, to create the video, which will combine all of these things, solve problems that we can identify in that culture using information from the older people of that culture, and in a way that answers questions from the children.
Okay. Thank you, Graham. By the way, sorry, Lotta, I wasn't sure if you were done or if you wanted more, huh? It's fine? Okay, because maybe you needed more time. Just I had hinted you were okay with passing. So about what you said, Graham, yeah, the highlighter, like Lot said, is to highlight things we can imagine. The next stage is to building a whole portfolio of possible targets, and we highlight them, but with a method. So we using the highlighter, we take all the possible targets, and not only we go and highlight the targets that we start with. I guess highlighting is, we can't cover the whole universe right away. We highlight our priorities, not only in order of priorities, but in order of method. So we go towards someone where we can bring, maybe originally that makes sense with the bag of information that we have. Someone that is more appropriate, that it, like I guess Harry before said, we risk giving too many pat on the shoulders, someone where that type of information is helpful instead of being harmful. So we have to sort of find a method when we group people that are giving us information, the people that we're getting information, let's call them the wise men that are giving us information, and the target who are receiver of information. We find a method to match them appropriately so that we're giving the best solution. Is that sorry, I didn't mean to take over. I got excited about the Grams and everyone's, but let's go on. Sorry, let's go back to the thing. Now it's let's see, Lot. Now it's your turn to. We're going in order. I think we have time. How much time do we have, Harry?
You've got about 12 minutes left.
Of the whole workshop?
No, just for the session.
For the session. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think we can take
got another 20, 25
Yeah,
minutes.
because I would like it if every one of us has a chance to do all roles. So let me just go in order of my screen. So Lotte, you will be the next devil's advocate, and then Denise can find the object, and Harry can find the synthesizer. Okay, so
Harry's the timer.
Timer. Yeah. Okay. So Marika or Graham can be the synthesizer. Go ahead, Lotte.
As a challenge, we all work from different places all over the world. How do we get together to make our end results?
Okay. Is the problem clear? How do we get together all to make our end result? Because we live in different parts of the world. So Denise, find an object on your desktop. Your phone. Oh, okay. That's an easy one. Graham. So you have to put together a lots challenge and Denise object with a solution. Graham, you're mute. You're mute. I don't know if you were talking.
Right.
Okay.
Just fixing my handy up vertically. Yes, well, the answer is definitely right there. It's the object itself. It's the phone. It's communication. We're all over the world. Fortunately, now we can communicate all over the world. Part of my original stand-up talk was about my brother who set up a radio ham system in my bedroom while I was a teenager. And I used to listen to news and pops from New Zealand to Luxembourg to London to New York. I was online with many people chatting at the same time, and this in 1964, 30 years before the World Wide Web. Well, we're a little bit luckier now, but what we really need for this is the telephone is not enough, the video phone is better, and we need the whole computer with our online Prezi board, whatever it is. It's a tool. It's a tool that allows people to get on there, put things together from all over, get interactions from everywhere, and come up with a beautiful integrated video cast, podcast with lots of music.
Thank you. Thank you, Graham. See, Graham is already proving how information, knowledge from past generations can arrive to us in a filtered way. We're not stuck to thinking about phone. We know that if the phone doesn't work, we have other ways. We won't be blocked. So this shows us how our project is going to be useful, because people that have knowledge from the past are not attached to the moment of the now. People now be thinking, oh, if the phone's not working, what do we do? We're stuck. But Graham is given other alternatives. So thank you. Your answer was beyond the simple object thing. Okay. Next, Denise, you will find the next challenge, and I guess Graham will find the object.
The next challenge is how we will find the expert people to help us with all these.
Okay. Graham, show us an object from your desktop. I cannot see. It's a stapler. Okay, and Alexander, you will be the synthesizer. You have to put together the challenge, which is how to find the experts to work out the group, and inspired by the function of a stapler, or by the object of a stapler, and give us a solution.
Maybe stapling together, so pairing an expert on the field of health together with an expert in the field of children education, and to build the body of knowledge we try to incorporate into our media. So that would be my idea.
Wonderful. Okay, so it's like getting the people to work together in pairs. Is that it? Creating pairs of people that's great, because they can carry different points of views, and the media will again make sure that we're not just getting pats on the back on one side, on one shoulder, but also on the other shoulder. So it keeps us in the middle. You know, people with different points of views are going to make sure that are going to join together, do a work sort of like ours, fusing their different points of knowledges, and building something appropriate for the children, for the target. All right. Do we have time for a fourth challenge, or are we done?
Absolutely. Yes, you've got at least 10,
okay,
maybe 15 minutes. Yeah. 15 minutes.
So it seems to be we're four, right? Who hasn't done so? Alex, for example, you did the challenge. You didn't do the object. So maybe Graham can do the challenge. Yeah, Graham can do the challenge. I seem to have skipped. Graham can do the challenge. Alexander the object, and Lotte can do the synthesizer. Oh, no, Denise, you've not synthesized yet, have you? Yeah. Okay. So Graham can do the challenge. What's the next challenge?
Yeah, good question. Just a moment. I've started logging in from another computer, and the echo is not going to work. The challenge would be to reward people, to give them the impetus to get something out of this job. This is a lot of work from a lot of people, and I don't see any way by which they can live from their time spent on it. Okay.
So reward, not necessarily inner satisfaction, but monetary, right? To live by. Graham? All right.
Right.
Yeah,
they have to live by this.
All right. Alex, your object has to be random. I don't.
Yeah, my object would be a notebook.
Notebook.
Yeah.
Okay. And Denise?
The notebook was an open book with all empty, that we can create anything on it, what I saw in the hands of Alexander. So the reward can be anything, but it needs to be according to the motivation of the person. So we need to understand the reward, what we need to give specifically to each different people who are spending his efforts and time. And I believe recognition is really important. So recognition might be just a pat on the back for someone, or a frame of a picture altogether for someone else, or some free bonus, whatever, ticket for a movie or a workshop for someone else. So it's an open book. We need to write down all the names and find out what they will feel like they are recognized if we give them that. And it doesn't need to be costing too much for each of them. It needs to be effective for each of the personalities.
Excellent. Wonderful. Thank you, Denise. That's very creative.
Marco, we've got a couple of people that have joined late. I'm sure they've watched this process. Maybe they want to try. Malka and Liesel.
Okay, yeah, sure. Before we go to that, I have to admit I got so carried away I forgot to note down. Can we write down the chat? Can we do a summary? Okay, let me repeat because I'm supposed to give the whole story later. So the first challenge was the target that Alexander gave. I gave a highlighter, and Lotte and Graham suggested selection and method of the target. I can't remember the second challenge was. Lotte, was it you who gave it?
How can we work together?
Yeah, right. Connection. Okay, how to connect. And the object was the phone. That was too easy. That's why I forgot. And phone And it was to call, okay, use the phone, use modern means, available history appropriate means. Then the next challenge was given by, before Graham's recognition, there was another one, was there?
How to find the experts.
Yes, how to find the experts. How to find the experts.
And the stapler.
And it was a stapler. And it was putting him in pair. I guess it pairing him up. Okay, it didn't give us the location, but it gave us how to pair. I guess we can pair them up. Okay. Okay, I guess and recognition. The object was the notebook. And the solution was to give awards based on everybody's adapting to everybody's reward system and giving appropriate rewards. Appropriate. Okay. So does anyone else, like Harry said, does anyone else want to join the game? I can give a little description of what we're doing and they can participate. Graham, that's you twice. You really want to you really want to have a role. Let's see, Meltem, is Meltem here?
Hello.
Hi. Have you been listening to the last part of the workshop? Were you able to?
I listened, yes.
Okay, so you want to play a role, so we can have one last round. One last round. Yes, because we have 15 minutes total. So Meltem, I guess you can start by finding out what could be the challenge. In we've went to, you saw that we are created a group, and our goal is to build some media. It can be books, it can be online, to provide children with health from a psychological point of view, growth experience. What could be a challenge that we meet? We've talked about selecting the target precisely. We've talked about connecting with each other, all of us in the team. We've talked about finding the experts, and we've talked about giving ourselves prizes. What else can be a challenge?
I think we can teach them agriculture. For example, we can look at ground background. We teach them how to build trees and some fruits, put some seeds to soil. When we were child, we put beans to cotton and see every day how they grow. So I think agricultural connection, all children together, bring them and show them how seed grow each one day, by sunlight, by water, by love, and learn patience. None of them it happens in one night, and also effort is very important.
Yes, that's very good, Meltem. The thing is, you're supposed to be the devil's advocate. You're giving a wonderful solution. The game was, first we find the challenge. One person defines the challenge. Second person observes an object, and last person finds the solution. So you're doing a solution, but what I wanted from you is to give a problem. A challenge. So I guess in agriculture, go ahead.
We don't have enough patience to wait.
Okay.
Learn patience. Yes, thank you.
Okay, okay. So how do we teach patience to our children can be the problem, right? Or is it patience for us to do you want to get patience for us, the team, to carry our own project, or you want to teach the children patience? Meltem?
Learn by themselves, not teaching.
Okay, how the children can get patience and how can they learn by themselves? All right. Who else? Lotte, you haven't given an object. Yeah, there you go. Wonderful. A stapler. Not a stapler. What's it called? What's it called in English?
A coat hanger.
Hanger.
Coat hanger.
Coat hanger. Thank you.
Coat hanger.
Coat hanger. And Harry, you give the synthesis.
Coat hanger, I think it's a perfect sort of place to start with children. I just, they're, I'm sure the coat hanger is strong enough to sort of stick it through the back of their sleeves, hang them up, and get them to start learning things that while they're hanging there, they can't get away. So you've got a perfect opportunity to actually start teaching them things and etc. sort of thing.
Okay, so you want to sort of have a captive audience.
Absolutely.
Captive audience, force it. Okay. Well, I guess we can use, we can trick them, what they like, what they're addicted from. We capture them through their addiction, and then we subliminally stick in our solutions, something like that.
I'd like to match the coat hanger with the agricultural solution. On this coat hanger, I'm hanging a couple of plants. Every child through the kindergarten room has then at least 2 plants hanging from the coat hanger. And they have to look after these plants all the year long with plenty of water and love and light. And this is going to give them patience.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Don't forget we've got a stapler from Alexander as well, so we can staple them to the hanger.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you, everybody. It's been a wonderful workshop. Let me give then the summary, because that's the final, and then the summary story, and then I'll give a summary of the whole workshop. So the final point was how to give patience and coat hanger, and either capture them or agricultural metaphor. So we have decided, so say I'm going back in the plenary room, we're supposed to do breakout. So presenting, dear plenary room people, we have decided, our team has decided that we will, we have the skill and the passion to build a new media company dedicated to healing children, healing them from a mental point of view, so that they will be able to grow and carry on the ever-changing society with growing strength, and keeping them away from weaknesses that could cause infections, and bacteria could cause them into addictions and of all sorts, so that they can stay healthy and strong for their whole lives. Our team has gone through different challenges while achieving this problem. First, we had to define the target, because it is way too broad. Children of all ages, of all cultures. Where do we start from? We were inspired by a highlighter to start selecting first of all the knowledge, the people, the experts that would give us information, and selecting them with method appropriately, so that they would give different types of information to the proper children. The next challenge we met is because we all live in different countries, how do we get together? Today's idea was using a phone. That was the object that inspired us. And we're mindful that as technologies changes, in the future, we may have 3D holographic things to meet. So we're mindful of future ways to meet, because the time in which the connection is happening is not important. In the past, they were doing this they were building wonderful enterprises without the benefit of our modern connecting systems. The next challenge was how do we select, how do we find these experts that build their knowledge? And a stapler inspired us to make sure that these experts are always in pairs. It is not clear yet how to find them. We can be the next challenge, but we know that we want pairs of people. We want to make sure that these experts are always from different fields, so that when they carry the information to these children, it can be varied, and it can make sure they do not fall into addictions and they do not fall into a trap. Other challenge was how to recognize these people, and a notebook inspired us to make sure a blank notebook inspired us to make sure that we can fill it up with the dreams and the inclinations of the different people, so that they can get appropriate rewards. It can be a ribbon, it can be a pat on the shoulder, somebody can be self-rewarded, it can be a trip, a vacation, we can, if someone who likes skiing, we can offer him, or mountain climbing, we can offer him to climb a mountain that he's never been to, etc., etc. And finally, last but not least, we had the challenge of how to build patience to children, how to make sure that we bring this very important value of patience into it. And a coat hanger inspired us to keep them still, steady. A coat hanger, and again, a reference with the stapler. Staple them onto there, make sure they're captive. These children tend to be distracted. We want to staple them. And this is probably why we need two types of people, experts. One that keeps them stapled, and one that sneaks in the information and the wisdom that we want to carry through. And because agriculture is a very important metaphor to build patience, we'll also use the stapler to hold plants that they can have in their house, and while they're reading the media, and watch carefully how the plants grow. Thank you, everyone. I hope you liked our challenge, and that's the way I put it together anyway. Thank you all. And I hope everybody, I guess I should, as Toastmaster said, I should have had a conclusion. Let me go back. Let me conclude. And with this product, we hope to bring we hope to help our next generations be as inspirational as or more inspirational than us, so that the growth can happen in an exponential way. They'll be bringing better products to us, and growth will be non-stop evolution. Thank you. All right. So sorry, I took the role of the lead. Obviously, in the final group, we're all supposed in the final workshop, many people were supposed to lead, but just in the interest of time, I just went and ran with it. I hope you liked the workshop. The workshop was based on it was based not on exactly on a concrete thing, but if we do want to build such a company, it will be wonderful. But it was helpful. It was I was hoping to highlight a few things. One, the cycle, the aspect of the cycle, and how going in cycle, you can cover all different challenges, like we know very well in Toastmasters. Two, the power of the team. We're so diverse people. This was challenging but rewarding, because we're very different from each other, and come up with ideas that come from different corners. So we're able to bring new aspects. And finally, the ecosystem, also exemplified by how the objects that we were taking somehow always seem to magically give us helpful information. So being grateful to the object. Meltem, not Meltem, it was Denise who asked before, is this a method that I can use? You can use the method with the objects now, but as you gather expertise, you don't have to pick an object because you're grateful. You're not stressed about the problem. The solution will come automatically. You just know that distracting yourself, looking around, etc., the solution will come, and it's a wonderful universe that it's there to provide you helpful solutions for the rest. Thank you, and I hope I didn't run out too long. I see Harry.